I've already got a Tyranid start collecting video and a lot of people have been asking whether I'm going to refresh it for 9th. Well, this is that video. I'm going to cover all the things you should think about, models you should buy, and a few other extra options. Some things to consider. You should shop around to get your 10 to 20% discounts. Follow the rule of cool and buy things that bring you joy. And consider how you want to play because the 9th edition codex is so well rounded, anything goes, whether big monsters, hordes, or a mixture. The only must-have you need is the 9th edition codex itself. It's great, and after some recent updates, it is actually the only book you'll need for Tyranids. The best place to start is often the combat patrols, and with Tyranids this is no different. Great savings built in, and it's a great set of units. You're getting the Warriors, which is one of the standout units from the 9th edition codex, and I'll discuss them a bit more later. Ripper Swarms, and these are the ones you get within the Tyranids box. And a Hive Tyrant, which can be built in one of 3 ways. The overall savings is about 33%, which is pretty standard. And consider you can buy this for actually £70 from one of the discount stores, which is a great saving. I'm now going to cover a load of the must-have units, and then you can pick and choose whichever ones you like. The Hive Tyrant kit. This is a great kit, and you can build the walking, flying or swarm lord variant. All fantastic must-haves, and even though you get one in the combat patrol, it's a real consideration to just get another. You can only take 1 per detachment, but most lists are probably going to have 2 detachments just so you can get more. The Hive Tyrants. I will do a video about the best builds for these guys, as they're so fantastic. The walking one is 160 points. T8, 2+ save, 4+ invuln, so really resilient. And it has some really scary shooting and melee options, and it's going to tear up the battlefield. The flying option also really good, 190 points, but it can move 16. This one's T7, 3+ save, but 4+ invuln still. Again, you can build this to be devastating, but being so fast, it does play a slightly different role. And the Swarm Lord, 220 points. T8, 2+ save and 4+ invuln, and once per turn you can turn a failed save into 0 damage. It's only got melee, but it's got 9 attacks, and these attacks will be hitting hard. You can give a unit obsec, or give a unit reroll all hits. If you want a gun line, then these guys are the best options. Both T8 and 2+ save massive monsters, 15 to 17 wounds, and have devastating firepower with a 3+ ballistic skill. The Exocrine, the best general all-round shooty bug, 170 points. It can ignore cover if it stands still. And it's got D3 +6 shots at strength 8. That's -4 AP and 3 damage. It's going to mop up most things. The Tyranids, perfect for shooting and deleting something. 170 points base plus your weapons. And your rupture cannon will be an extra 20 points. That's 3 shots at strength 14, -4 AP and D6 +4 damage. Either of these would do you proud. Warriors. You get these in the combat patrol, but they're probably the biggest winner for moving from 8th to 9th, so you're probably going to want more than one set. 25 points base, cheap and tough troops, lots of strong shooting and melee options, and being caught, they get loads of buffs. These guys can cause serious problems with how much you can buff them up. The Tyranid Psychic Might can rival most factions now. Firstly, the Neurothrope. It's a great 100-point HQ unit, reliable psyker with a +1 to cast. It can regenerate wounds for itself and friendly Zoanthrope units. Super resilient with a 3+ invuln save, which is really rare still in the game. It can also buff another psyker unit by giving them 3d6 discard 1 for casts. You can't buy Neurothrope on its own, you have to buy a box set of Zoanthropes and make one of them as that. The other 2 as Zoanthropes, however, the minimum model count for that unit is actually 3, so you're going to need 2 boxes to make the most out of these. It's lucky then that these guys are so strong, and out of the 2 boxes, you're going to have 5 Zoanthropes. The 50 points each, probably and also included in most lists. 4+ invuln, their smite hits harder with +1 to cast, and they can deal an extra mortal wound for each model in the unit up to a maximum of 3. So on average from a squad of 3, that means they're going to be hitting 5 mortal wound smites. If you have a Neurothrope, then it means you can take one of these units without taking up a battlefield roll slot. Some other good options. The Lictor is good again, and I do have a video covering just why they're so good. 70 points and a fantastic utility unit. They're -1 to hit, and they can't be shot if you're over 12 inches away when it's in cover. They have a 5+ invuln, they always fight first. You have an innate deep strike and can reroll charges from that, and if they deep strike into your own deployment zone, then they can get to 6 inches away from models. Perhaps consider taking a Death Leaper for only 25 points more, get an extra wound and attack, but it can also deny units from performing actions. When it's in melee, your opponent can't use strats against it. The Harpy, 160 point flyer, moving 15 to 40 inches depending on whether it hovers. It can engage in melee, and it can actually do quite well. It's a tough unit to shift, and it can take 2 heavy venom cannons which can dish out a lot of damage. It also has a bombing attack for dealing mortal wounds, but this unit is considered to be undercosted, so I'd expect the price to go up. A little chat about 4th World. In the 8th edition codex, the Forge World monsters bolstered the melee list as some of the strongest models. However, with the 9th edition codex being released, they've been left behind a little bit, as they do need an update to bring them back into viability. With how well-rounded the 9th edition codex is, you don't actually really need Forge World at the moment. Hoping to see more players join the Tyranid gang. See you in team. Bye.